In this video, we're going to be finding out the best way to say good luck in Italian. Cominciamo! Buongiorno a tutti e benvenuti a Coffee Break Italian. Io sono Mark.
Ciao a tutti, io sono Francesca.
And in this episode, we are going to be answering a question that comes from Babs. Babs wants to know what's the most Italian way to say good luck. Francesca, I always love when there is a really good answer to a question like this, and it's a really straightforward thing. Over to you.
Okay, grazie, Mark. Yes, this is a good question, and as you said, there is a lovely Italian way to say good luck. But I should say first that you can translate this literally into Italian, and you can just say buona fortuna.
Okay, so first of all, we know fortuna, it ends in an A, therefore it's more than likely to be a feminine noun. And fortuna is luck, and therefore buona fortuna means good luck, literally, buona fortuna.
Sì. However, there is a more, let's say, Italian way to wish someone good luck, which is in bocca al lupo.
Okay, so in bocca, there's another feminine noun, in bocca, mouth, in bocca al lupo.
Esatto.
So what's the lupo?
Lupo significa wolf.
Okay, there's the wolf. That's not
a
very
che
good
carino.
Not a very good drawing of a wolf, but it's as good as we're getting. And this is suggesting in the mouth of the wolf. What's that all about, Francesca?
It's not 100% sure, but it seems to be related to the she-wolf, the famous lupa of Rome, La Lupa di Roma, and apparently being in the mouth of the wolf, it's a place where you are safe and protected. But this is not 100% sure, so it's only an hypothesis, really.
Okay. However, it is an extremely common way of saying good luck, in bocca al lupo, and you run it all together like that. Can you give us the pronunciation of this?
In bocca al lupo.
So you don't really say in bocca al lupo, you run it together, in bocca al lupo.
Esatto, bravissimo.
But there's something very important about how we answer this, Francesca, isn't there?
It's very important because you must not say grazie. Yeah. Apparently, this is bad luck. So we're very superstitious in Italy.
Do not say grazie in response to in bocca al lupo. If someone says buona fortuna, then you could say grazie in response there. But if someone says in bocca al lupo, don't say grazie. What do you say?
You have to say crepi or crepi il lupo.
So crepi. Now crepi, a little bit tricky. It comes, crepi or crepi il lupo. You can say crepi il lupo. What does that literally mean?
The verb crepare means to die, and it has a negative, slightly derogative nuance. It also means to crack, like a vase could crack, crepare. But in this case, it means to die with a negative nuance. And it means really, may the wolf die, because you are in the mouth of the wolf, obviously.
Okay. Now, if you prefer not to say may the wolf die, there's another way of saying it these days. How could you say that?
See, these days some people want to avoid that because it doesn't sound really nice towards animals. So you can just say viva il lupo.
Okay, so viva il lupo. May the wolf live rather than may the wolf die. Okay.
See, so this is quite common these days in contemporary Italian.
Good. Let's just go through these phrases again. So first of all, the kind of literal translation of good luck.
Buona fortuna.
Okay. And then our very Italian way of saying good luck.
In bocca al lupo.
Okay. And then two possible responses to that.
Crepi or crepi il lupo.
Or
as an alternative, viva il lupo.
Perfetto. Okay, so that hopefully answers the question that Babs asked all about how to say good luck in the most Italian way. Now, if you have a question like Babs, then make sure you get in touch with us. Go to coffeebreakquestions.com, fill in the form, leave your question there, and we'll do our best to include your question in a future episode of the show. And if you have enjoyed this video, if you now know how to say good luck in Italian in the best way, then of course give it a like and make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can do so and then click the little bell icon that appears too, and that way you'll be notified anytime we post a new video to help you with your Italian.
And if you wish to practice these phrases a little bit further, you can write a simple sentence or a short conversation where you're using in bocca al lupo or the other phrases, and just post them in the comments here below.
Allora, in bocca al lupo a tutti!
Sì!
Grazie mille e alla prossima, ciao!
Ciao ciao!